For the past couple of days, I've been working on, I've been knitting hot water bottle cover. And what I did, because I think that hot water bottle covers are just like, first of all, I love them, but they're kind of a perfect hand knit gift if you like to gift things that you knit. They're kind of a perfect gift to give now for the upcoming season, or for housewarming or something like that, especially if we want to make not only individual presents, but like a present for the family as well. So maybe like a hamper now for Christmas. Sorry, the cat is, Baguette is here and he's making noises. So if you want to make like a hamper, let's say, and some wine in it, and a book, or maybe an air freshener that we get, or a candle, and a hot water bottle with a hand knit cover. And I think that's just like a really nice and versatile idea. Now there is lots of patterns that you can buy for knitting the hot water bottle covers. Now, I never used one, so if you're somebody who likes to follow patterns, and by all means do that and support the designers, and go ahead. There is lots of patterns to buy. However, because I never used one, I thought, because I've been making this one, I didn't finish it. I'm still on the needles. I've been making this one for the past couple of days. I don't knit it on the actual hot water bottle. I knit it separately, but I just tried it on to see, how much longer I need to knit, and I'm almost finished. So what I decided to do is to kind of, as I'm knitting it, record the process of how I'm doing it and how I'm calculating the gauge and the size and just how I do it. So it's not a tutorial by any means, because also the yarn is a bit dark, and I hope you're gonna be that I'm explaining it well. It's just I put the camera on, and whenever I come to the next stage, I was recording a bit. So in case you kind of decide that you're not buying a pattern, or that you have some random yarn that you want to use up, and the gauge doesn't meet the pattern or something like that, hopefully this video can kind of help you and kind of give you the idea of how I do it. It's relatively simple. This is the first one that I made, and I actually used it last night. I had some really bad cramps last night, so I used it and I put it on my stomach. And this one is full already, you can see it. This is another one that I made from the same yarn, and this is going to be a gift for Christmas. And this is the one that from a recently bought yarn that you saw at the Knitathon episode, I decided to make, and it's really nice and soft and fluffy, the yarn. So hopefully you like the video, and that it kind of helps you a little bit. As I said, I don't have a proper setup for instructions or anything like that. So don't come after me if there is something that you didn't see properly or something like that. I just took the camera on to record my process. And I want to show you how I insert the actual hot water bottle once the thing is once the thing is knitted. So there is no trick to it. I have these small ones, 1 liter ones. So I just fold it like this, and I insert it that way through the neck of the cover, and then it just opens inside like that. So the one, as I said, the one that I'm knitting, I'm not knitting it on the actual hot water bottle. I just put it on so I can try the size. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video and that it can be of some use to you. So the hot water bottle that I'm going to be using, it's a small one, 1 liter one, and I just bought it locally. The yarn that I'm going to use for this one is, again, that I bought in that shop. It's a shop that kind of has everything, and I stumbled upon this yarn. I bought like 6 skeins. This is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So this is the yarn. Now, I never made with that much acrylic based content for the hot water bottle, so I don't know if it's going to be okay because of the acrylic content. I'm going to test it. So this is just a test for me, as far as afterwards I'm going to fill it up and see whether the heat affects the yarn. That's why it's better to do it with the yarn that is of higher wool content, but it doesn't matter. This is just for the sake of kind of demonstration, just to show you how I knit, and hopefully it's going to work out. The yarn was really inexpensive. It was €1.50 per 100-gram ball, and it's really nice. I made a sample. The little swatch, I used 3mm needles, and after I washed it and blocked it, I got 24 stitches, about 24 stitches per 10 centimeters. So then what I did is, since I measured this, the neck of the width of the neck of the bottle, I saw that I need to cast on 48 stitches. So I'm going to cast on the 48 stitches, knit ribbing, and now when I see here, the neck of the bottle is about 6 centimeters. So because I want it folded, I'm going to knit it about 12 centimeters or possibly even 14 of the ribbing, just so I know that, you know, there is a nice fold over for the, like the turtleneck. Okay, so now I have done the ribbing that is double the height of the neck of the bottle. So in my case, I think I did about 14 centimeters long. And the amount of stitches, I told you it's 48 stitches that I did in the round, but that really depends on what kind of gauge you get and what yarn you use. So any kind of calculation, the numbers are going to depend on what yarn you are using. I'm just showing you the process of how I do it. So now I have the turtleneck basically for the bottle, and now I have to see how many stitches do I need to have in the end for the whole body. And I'm going to measure my bottle, which is, I need it to be about, well, 15.5 or 16 centimeters wide. So let's say 16 centimeters wide, which means that if I double that, considering that it's going to be on 2 sides, that is going to be 32 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is, because my number of stitches, my gauge is 24, 24 stitches per 10 centimeters. I'm going to do, because it's 32 centimeters I need in the round, I'm going to do 3.2, because I'm doing per 10 centimeters, times 24 stitches. And that is going to give me 76.8 stitches. So let's say I'm going to put 78 stitches that I need for the whole bottle, for the body of the bottle. For the body of the bottle, I'm going to need at the end 78 stitches. But because here I see that the slope of the bottle is more steep, and then there is a small rounding, I want to see how many of the stitches I need to do with fast increases before I do like a small rounding for the shoulders. So here, how fast it increases until about 14 centimeters. So 14 times 2 is 28. So 2.8 times 24 is 2.8 times 24 is, so 67.2. So let's say 68 stitches I need with the fast increases. Okay, so now what's gonna happen? I have divided the yarn into, I was working this on circular needles. So now I have put it on magic loop because this was 48 stitches. I have 24 and 24. So I'm going to increase in 2 points, once here and once here, but on both sides, like with the sock. So I'm going to have 4 increases per round. But I need to get from 48 stitches to 68 stitches first, which is this steep increase. And that means that I'm going to be increasing every round. Because from 48 to 68, that is 20 stitches. And if I'm getting basically 4 increases, 4 stitches increased every round, that means that I have to knit 5 rounds in order to get to this first rounding of the shoulder, just where this steep increase is. So that means that for 5 rounds, I'm going to increase every row. And 5 times 4 stitches increase, that will give me 20 stitches. So 48, that is this now, is going to become 68, which I need for this inner diameter where the steep increases are happening. After that, after those 5 rows, I need to get from 68 stitches to 78 stitches, which is 10 centimeters. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of make a smoother transition, I'm going to increase every other row. But that is only 10 centimeters difference. And basically, because I'm increasing 4 stitches every round, that I can't do it equally like that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to maybe have like 2 stitches less. So maybe increase only 2 times, so like 8. I'm just experimenting, right? So I'm going to increase, let's say, 1 row, which is going to give me 4 extra stitches. So 68 will become 72. Then I'm going to knit 1 row. Then I'm going to increase again 1 row, so that 72 stitches is going to become 76 stitches. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to have 78 because the yarn can stretch a bit. Okay, so now just to kind of do a recap, because I don't know if I explained it well, because this is not a tutorial, I'm just kind of explaining to you how I do it. I have 14 centimeters of 1 by 1 ribbing, which once I fold it in on itself like a turtleneck, is going to be for the neck of the bottle. Now I need to increase every round for this fast slope here until I have 68 stitches in order to get, I think, 14 centimeters based on my gauge, which means that I'm going to increase every row on 4 points, probably 1 stitch before the last stitch on each needle for 5 rounds. That is going to give me 68 stitches, and that is going to create this very sharp slope up to here. Then I'm going to, in order to make a smooth transition here, I'm going to just only knit 1 row, then a round, then increase 1 round, then knit 1 round, and then increase 1 round, and that will bring me to 76 stitches, which is going to be the circumference of my whole bottle. And then I'm just going to knit straight down until somewhere here, and probably show you once I'm there, but then my decreases are going to be similar like for this shoulder as well. So now I need to increase. You can't really see, it's a dark yarn, but I'm going to knit 1 stitch, then I'm going to, in the second one, knit front and back, knit across this one side of, across one needle until I come to 1 stitch before the end. Actually, it's 2 stitches. So now I have 2 stitches on this needle. I'm going to knit in the second one before the last, front and back. And then I'm going to knit the last stitch. I'm going to turn my needles and do the same thing on the other side. So knit 1 stitch, then in the second one knit front and back, so therefore increasing 1 stitch, knit across the needle, come to 2 stitches before the end. In the second one before I will knit front and back, therefore making another increase, and then knitting the last stitch. That will give me 4 increases for this round. Knit 1, knit front and back, knit across the row, I have 2 stitches left on my needles. In this one I'm going to knit front and back, and then knit the last stitch. So now I have completed both sides, which is 1 round if you were using circular needles, and it means that I have increased 4 stitches. So 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. And now, in order to come to that, to finish that fast increases, I need to do that another 4 times. So now I have completed this first set of increases, and I have 68 stitches on my needles, so 34 on one side and 34 on the other. And that is going to be this steeper increase right here. And now I want to knit 1 round, just to kind of like make this rounding a bit more gentle. I want to knit 1 round, then do 1 round of increases, then knit 1 round, and then do another 1 round of increases, and that is going to bring me to 76 stitches, which I'm going to need for the width of the bottle. Now, As I said, this is really just based on my gauge and the yarn that I'm using. Just explain to you how you can kind of calculate it for the yarn that you are using. So the dimensions that you need is, first you need your gauge. Then based on your gauge, you're going to do ribbing to fit the neck. Take the widest point of the neck of the bottle. Knit the ribbing based on your gauge, how many stitches. Knit it double the height. So when you fold it, you can. So you're going to knit the turtleneck basically. Then what you need is the measurement, not of, you can first do the whole bottle, but first until it comes to this shoulder. Then you're going to calculate how many stitches you need to come to there. And that means that you are going to, for this area, increase every round 4 stitches. And then between this part here and the whole bottle, the width of the bottle, you're going to increase 4 stitches every other round, and that is just to make the shoulder a bit smoother. And then once you have the complete number of stitches, then you knit all the way down. I wanted to show you the progress of the hot water bottle cover. So I have folded, so this is how this looks, the top. I have folded it to make sure that it fits fine. And now those increases that we have done, they have formed perfectly nice sloped shoulders. And now I'm knitting the number of stitches that I have for the whole width of the bottle, and I'm going to be knitting it until somewhere around here, where before this curve starts. And then I'm going to be decreasing, which I believe that it's going to be every other round for a few rounds, and then just seam it. But for now, I'm going to be knitting until somewhere around here. So since I'm losing light, although you can't see it, but you won't be able to see if I record later on in the night, basically I have finished knitting until maybe I'm going to knit another 1 or 2 rounds and then start decreasing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease 2 times, but separated by 1 knit round each time. So I'm going to decrease 1 round, 4 stitches. You can use your preferred stitches. What I usually do is I knit 1 stitch and then I do slip, slip, knit. I knit all the way across until 3 stitches before, and I knit 2 together. That's how I do the toes and the heels for my socks. So right now I'm going to knit maybe another 1 or 2 rounds. Then I'm going to decrease 1 round, 4 stitches. Then I'm going to knit 1 round and then decrease another round. So that will give me this nice rounding right here. And then I'm going to seam it. And that seaming you can do however you want, whether it's a Kitchener stitch, or I tend to do it with a crochet hook, or however you want. It's really up to you. But yeah, that's the process. I hope you enjoyed it and that you that you kind of got some kind of idea of how I do the hot water bottle covers without following a pattern and kind of using any yarn that I have on hand.